Yay! Session 43 was at Carol and Jarrell's place, where you'd rather be. It was not very pleasant. We messaged Rolmy, who ended up arriving and trying to promptly kill Carol. He didn't though, and it was okay until we all kind of wanted to take a bit of a swing at Carol, and that was a bit messy. There was some nasty words thrown around, there was some tension. Carol ended up pissing his pants.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I did. I remember that.
Which was interesting. Otherwise, though, Rolmy took Marlena aside to heal because her necrosis has been getting real bad. And says essentially it's going to take a bit of time and it won't be 100% because the second she goes back, she might get reinfected. And also the source of the infection is in Eldrelith. Rolmy is kind of upset in general about our situation, especially about the fact that his son got married and then disowned their family. I'd be a bit upset too, but each to their own.
Mm-hmm.
He says that he needs time to get over things, and he wants also to go see his mum. And I believe the session ended with us leaving a Schissel and heading back to Loran's boat. It was a very much talky session. There was a couple of PC interactions, which if anyone else wants to add in their personal favourites, please go ahead. But it looks like we're pretty much gearing up to go to Eldrelith and scoop out the source of the rot that is causing this necrosis.
I did quite enjoy Sleia and Saraza talking on the beach together.
Building a sandcastle.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Louis inadvertently learning a bunch about Valas's childhood by going around his
that was really sad.
Getting near his bedroom.
Yeah, I hugged Jarrell.
Where's my son?
As you should.
See my son.
Gotta love Jarrell.
I miss Valas stealing our things.
Not for long though, until that happens again. Okay.
I didn't miss that.
No, because you're probably remembering the stage dagger, right?
Holy shit. Oh no, time might hit. Okay. There's a stage dagger involved in a friend's game that I've ordered online, so I've got an actual prop dagger, but Tom doesn't know about it because it's a thing I'm planning with the DM.
That's really fun. Obsessed.
I love that so much.
I love that.
Anyway, I do miss Valas being a little scamp. And being a little scamp means that he's living childhood, you know? And I have a feeling he's not doing that right now. So that's, yeah.
Nah,
it's just a
he's
baby.
Watching kids get eaten by giant spiders.
Most of them make it to the other captives.
But Emma, if you see one kid get eaten by a giant spider, it's just as traumatic as several, okay? There's nothing that's going to worsen it. Okay?
Yeah, right.
It's as bad as it gets.
Mm-hmm.
A
dice. So,
Choice.
I'm just going to sort of say that you guys take a long rest after the difficult events of the... Yeah?
Oh, no, sorry. Okay, I think
you guys have taken a long rest after the difficult events of the previous day, leaving you to head back to the ship, exhausted, still needing to clean up from the wedding, and determined to carry on in the direction of Eldrelith and, along that same vein, in the direction of saving a prayer. So, you wake up the next morning, feed yourselves, water yourselves, and such, and all of you gather around a overturned kind of trunk and barrels turned table, which has enough seats around it for a lot of you. And as you all sort of sit around, and tea and ale and whatnot is poured for you all. Loran, Saraza, even Marlena, despite her condition, as well as Anna, Ashun, and Ender. And I think, is Lucas still there, or has he gone home as well?
I remember saying goodbye to Lucas.
Yeah, and Lucas then as well. He'll be the last of the Messians. All of you guys sort of settle around, and Saraza kind of unfurls a long scroll of notes that he's been scribbling that morning, and he says,
Saraza's a note taker.
and he says, what with Shu being found and being sustained by Loran's magic at the moment, with Marlena healed, thank the gods, and for now, roll me discovering your relationship and leaving both you and Loran alive, Ulster. I think it's safe to say that we're in a better position than we were yesterday. However, there is still much to do. And, as I'm sure you're all aware, perhaps the most vital task is still yet to be completed.
Oh, my whole thing just died.
You're not here for us now.
I'm
so sad Danielle didn't come to this wedding. I feel like that was wrong. I feel like she should have been there. Would you guys be upset if I retconned Danielle into the wedding?
Why would she be there?
Because she loves fun.
We don't know her.
But you rescued her.
Oh, we do know her!
Yeah.
Yeah, she could have come.
Yeah.
Well, Danielle's there. So, okay, in a little separate school, kicking her little feet, wearing a big pink dress, is a pretty little girl, Danielle. She's so pretty. She's so popular.
Okay. Does she feel good being free from the wait, hang on.
You know what? You can ask her if you want to. She looks like she's thriving.
I'm glad that that your skin is clear. What is the quote?
So clear. And it's so clear. And now my life is so much better because I'm writing the seafaring romance smut novel. It's wonderful. She puts it away.
Wow.
It's called The Five-Pronged Wrath of the Sea God.
Most of the sea gods are actually good.
I never thought of it that way, Ulster. Never once until now. And now I can't help but think about it. Scratches out God on the title of the cover and writes Goddess. Goes back and starts correcting different words. It's going to be a really different book now. Thank you.
I struggled to hear Lily on that last little bit. Yeah, if that's all right.
I'm going to turn off.
La 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 la.
Could hear that.
Lily, say something.
1, 2, 3, 4 pancakes.
Yep, that's getting picked up. Thank you. Pancakes.
Okay, right. Fab. So I just had to adjust it so that the music wouldn't come through. All right then. And Lily said, I think you've earned a new readership, which Daniel agrees with. Right. Now that we've all remembered that Danielle is here, how dare we forget her? Sarah says, the most pressing matter is still yet unresolved. And that is this.
Your hair care routine.
Pardon me?
Sorry.
I just wake up and dunk it in a barrel of water.
Seems very unfair.
Brush my fingers through it and it looks like this.
Really unfair.
Why?
Like unfair
in his book.
Right.
Unfair to your hair, I think, is what Ulster is.
Oh, you think I should be taking better care of it because it looks awful. I see, Ulster. Thank you for your opinion.
I actually meant it looks really nice, and it's not fair that you don't have to do anything to it.
Loran, I wake up with bedhead every day.
He really does.
But you
Always
like
really
it.
Spiky.
He likes it spiky. And Saraza ignores Loren's lewd comments and carries on. Can I tell you now what the most pressing thing is? I feel like I've been leaving this on a cliffhanger and it's time to reveal.
Gosh, Sarah, you're really dilly-dallying. Go on.
My God, okay. We have not yet been to Eldrelith and assessed the situation there. I believe it is time for us to breach its walls. Daniel goes, ooh! In the corner. And Saraza says, breach the city walls. Now, the gauntlet has been, as far as we are aware from Coral's plans, decimated. And hopefully there were not too many casualties. He has a bit of a steeled look. You can tell he's trying to kind of keep strong in that moment. But you get the impression that Saraza is not super happy about the fact that people have died kind of in pursuit of this saving a prayer from Coral while working with Coral, and he probably could have done more to help. However, there's nothing to be done now.
He could have also made it worse.
He could have made it worse. He could have made it a bit better. Regardless, as someone who knows the court in Eldrelith well, and knowing what we know already from Coral's notes, from our intel, from our connections in Ironstone, there are 3 targets who seem to be key to alleviating the source of the poison.
Dragon.
And then some people alongside them who are relevant. Azcrack, the Azcrack. Azkerak, the High Paladin of Tiamat.
That one, didn't you?
She did. But I couldn't shorten it because it would just become Rack. Oh, Quinny.
You could say crack.
Birch, Blackfeather, and their associate Zenith Thudbon. As well.
Sorry.
As
Did you say urge?
Bert, you've already heard these names before.
Birch, I know,
Blackfeather,
sorry.
and Zenith Thudbon. You remember these from a couple sessions ago. Hopefully.
Blackfeather, and Zenith Bloodborne.
You guys learned that these 2 individuals were involved in the army and the city watch, and they seem to be working with Azkarak in order to sort of raise up the position of the Church of Tiamat.
I just spell Azkarak.
Askerak.
Kerak.
Askerak. It doesn't work either. It doesn't. Nothing I can do. Skerak.
No, I think you just got to stick with it now.
Azcrack.
Azcrack.
Oi! Azcrack!
He was probably bullied horribly as child.
And that's why he's the High Paladin of the Church of Tiamat.
Still an origin story.
Yeah. My mummy named me Azkarak after her grandfather. And I must get vengeance. Swift and divine.
Vengeance story. They named something shit.
That's a really great name for a character. Way to introduce your character. Like, my name is Azkarak, and I'm seeking revenge.
Paladin of vengeance, vengeance against my mother.
For naming me Azkarak.
Dude, you can just do deep hole, can't you? It's like, oh, shit.
That's so funny. Oh my god.
Right.
Saraza says, and of course, the merchant.
Big Ed.
Right, I think that's not his real name, but I can't actually even remember his real name, so I'm going to have to go with it.
What is a real name, really, apart from the name you are known as?
Now, very sage Ulster, obsessing, seeing these 3 targets. Pardon me, well, technically it's 4.
Technically, it's more because there's also the dragon.
Which dragon?
The dragon orb.
85.
Yes.
I'll make
Right.
it 5. Although maybe we should make the dragon count for 2 people because it's a dragon.
No more of this.
Or 10 people.
Just
in which
now.
case it'll be 14.
Please quiet, Ulster. Please. Lucas chimes in and says, friends, I don't know about you, but laying out the plan here, it seems rather simple.
We go and hit them hard.
Yes, very good, Ulster. But it seems to me from looking at your notes, you have someone with information who's weaker and easy to manipulate.
Big Ed.
Exactly. You have 2 people involved in organised defence of the city, which you want to break into.
Birch and Zenith.
Precisely. So it makes sense for me that you would take them out. And then once everything's in disarray, you go in for the big guns.
The dragon. And Asscrack.
Quite. So I am very popular, have loads of friends. So I can take my contacts in Ironstone, the Green Sea, and Eldrelith, gather them together and try and see if I can't disrupt the army through Zenith or Birch.
Okay. Oh, you're helping now.
Well, I'm here, and I didn't go home on the last boat because I slept in. He gives Sleer a wink. And then I really slept in, and he gives Daniel a wink. But something I can say is that I have enough money and enough friends to make a difference.
Who's the father and mother if we get one purple child?
Well, people have different bodies, Ulster, and
when purple with horns, how are we going to know? You should have been more sensible.
I'm going to cease this line of questioning and leave you with my good friend, very close friend, Sleer. Astra. No, they wouldn't know Sleer, would they?
Probably not, no.
Okay.
With my very good friend, Astra. Very close.
Really not very.
Strange thing to say. Daniel says, not that strange.
I'm afraid I think I did miss what Lily said. I'm sorry.
Strange thing to say.
Oh, Ulster said, you don't know her that well, clearly.
Because he's using their fake name.
Right, okay.
And Daniel gets up and sort of goes over to you, Sleer, and holds up her hand and just says, well done. You fought well.
Oh, I didn't really fight at all. If you...
She's winking. You can tell she's playing fun.
Yeah, I mean, Astra will, shake her hand. It's like...
She shakes your hand, she grabs your face and gives you a big
mystery.
Kiss on the forehead. And says, you're so cute! And gives her a big ruffle and just says, all right, I'm done now. And hobbles off and goes looking for food.
This is why I'm gay.
Mm-hmm. Women are confusing.
Mm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Lucas is like, so is that a good plan?
Yeah. Sounds very astute and well thought out.
Great, I'm gonna go. And gets up and is like, just let me know when you're ready for my people. And hobbles off after Daniel.
My cousin has apologizes for his behavior.
Syraza says, I'm confused. But we do not have time for this.
Yes, let's proceed with business.
Mm-hmm. You've got lipstick on your forehead.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's a good look.
Like a third eye or something.
Aesthetic. Oh my god, it's like a third eye, and that makes sense because it's So,
I have a question.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I've forgotten her name. The temple worker who we sent to Melas, and her name Clara. Cerberus. Is it worth asking Clara for information, or if we're still suspicious of her, could word get from her to whoever we're targeting first?
Sure.
And we should kill Clara when we're all done.
I think if you put that out there, Bluey, I probably think Sarah's would be a bit uncertain, but Anna, because you're Anna, Anna Ashun, considering that she has lived in Ironstone and also worked quite closely with slightly higher up people in the various temples and in Eldrith, would probably know vaguely of her. Also vaguely of the plans so far, that everything that's gone down. And with that knowledge, they would say, I don't know if it's presumptuous to say, but honestly, if you have someone who has given you reliable information before about people like Big Ed, it may be worth tapping into that source again, just to make sure you've wrung it dry.
Or we kill them if we don't like them.
You can even do both, really. And if they betray you, then at least you know that contract is sour. But to be honest, by the looks of things, we've only got a couple people we really need to target. This seems to be coming down to less intricate, planned takedowns and more quick assassinations and fights.
We should have recruited Droll.
You may still, if there's someone you want to bring on. If Lucas is going to fight, say, the army, then you might want to take someone who can, if you know someone who's powerful enough to take out Azkarak to leave the dragon open for you, especially if the Azkarak may be the leader of this operation, controlling the dragon. I wouldn't say that's a bad idea.
Get Droll on board if we promise to save his son from the Underdark. I
would do the same for my son, and I would offer him my support and my skills.
That's a good thing to know.
I am a very accomplished wizard, so I know I am often overshadowed by my husband, and he was great.
He's dead. We don't care about him.
Yes, he did sadly pass, and just starts crying. It's all right, son.
Sorry, he was awful and ugly.
What a horrible thing to say about the dead man that I married and loved for 18 years.
Sparrows and Elijah's just flash across Allstar's eyes, and he's like, I think it was fair.
Why? He's not a bad man.
But just get the ick. You know, sometimes you get the ick.
Did you know him?
Oh, I've you know how I'm psychic? My ick senses are very, very good.
Anna looks a bit put out and just says, Sarazar, you can tell him that I will help retrieve his son. But I wouldn't appreciate, unless they are substantiated, rumors stay rumors and are not spread beyond the table.
Ick isn't a rumor, it's a type of feeling you have. But I understand and I will speak quiet.
Right.
Okay.
Now let's not speak of absent fathers so cruelly.
The second
So
she turns around, also looks at Bluey and Astra's like,
good one, Anna.
Okay.
So, you guys have some connections. Lucas is off doing stuff. Who knows what? Anna is offering you her magic and is suggesting a simultaneous strike, should you wish to.
so we should recruit Droll.
Probably.
I'll send
You have to kick someone out of your party. And
I will
something the matter.
I will send Droll a message whilst we're at the table.
Okay.
Is something the matter? The thing that, like,
it's what Shadowheart says when you speak to her.
She says to me, "Oh, that's what butterflies." I mean, when you say butterflies in the stomach, when I talk to her,
you know, Shadowheart was the first character we decided that we didn't want in our party when it was too big, and I think it's because of the racism.
But she's what? Okay,
guys.
Anyway.
I'll just say everyone is.
Can
Can I say, unfortunately, everybody in the game is racist, and it's very strange.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about it.
When you play a drow,
All right.
it's even more obvious. Anyway.
Yeah, I played a tiefling, and the massacres are hard. So,
I will
Jesus
message
Christ.
Thrall.
okay, you said.
We can get your son if you help us have new asset Ulster.
Can you mention that it involves assassination where we target someone else at the same time?
Gotcha. It will involve simultaneous assassination. You're good with knives. Question mark?
That's great. I love that.
After a moment, you hear a call back. Bring, bring. Can I tell you guys something? It's the most amazing thing, and I can't believe we never talked about it. Okay. Have you ever seen when people hang hagstones in their window on ribbon, right? Like stones, or like a wind chime or a mobile.
Valis invented it.
Okay.
Okay. So you can hang like stones and sea glass and trinkets like a mobile in your window, and it blows in the wind, going ding, 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 ding. You know what I mean, right?
Now imagine if you did that
with a sending stone, which in this universe are little hagstones with a hole in the middle. What would you get? A mobile stone! So here is the new law. People who have these things hang them on a little chain or a little ribbon on their belts, and then they hang their trinkets off of those, and then the trinkets of their trinkets off of those, and it starts looking like a chime or a mobile. So your stone chimes, and you have a mobile stone. So when Gerard replies, it's funny. And you guys all have some. You could have a pink flipstone.
It's amazing, and I love it very, very much.
Ooh, flipstone?
You want a pink flipstone?
Well, my character won't, but I do.
Yeah. So, Dral replies, "Will help. My son is a priority."
He has two messages
You
to
owe
respond
me
to.
a great debt for this. I will not forget.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
Yes. Will you be here for dinner?
Call when we head out for final mission. Basically, when you guys are ready for him to come to Eldrelith and fight.
We don't need to prepare another portion for dinner then.
Okay. Sarasa says, "Thank God," and Loran says, "Oh, thank God, we're low on rations." We do need to stop in port. Happy for me to start heading us there?
Onwards.
And you guys can spend the sort of half day it takes to get back to the approach shoreline.
I want to learn how to steer the ship.
You want to learn how to steer the ship? Make a dexterity saving throw with advantage because Loran is Titanicking you.
Oh, cool. Yeah, okay. 21.
21, you're a natural. I wonder why.
Being puppeteered by the
Yeah, I wonder why. Loren's like, "Oh, you're so good." Oh my God, we're about to get knocked over by this giant wave. And you guys all can disembark from the ship. You can regroup. You can change. You can bathe. You can eat. And Loran sort of pays for you all to board if you need to, your things, any personal effects in an inn nearby as a base of operations, and he spends about an hour tracing a teleportation circle on the floor of this place. The inn, we can need a name for it.
That's how we spend our entire honeymoon because we didn't go to a Shissel for the honeymoon.
No, you had a long rest. I'm going to say retcon made a long rest. Was that what we were supposed to do?
Yeah.
We were going to party in a chisel?
Yeah.
Oh.
I forgot.
I forgot to. Well, I'm going to say you guys had, and we can do that as a one-shot later. Okay? A one-shot later. Wedding party in a honeymoon in a chisel, okay?
Yeah. Ulster's very displeased that he only got one night of a honeymoon, and as Loran's tracing the circle, he's just sitting there like, are you done yet? Are you done yet? How about now?
Not yet.
Now?
And I'm done. The name of the tavern is the Naughty Elderberry.
That's amazing.
And this is in what port city is this in?
This would be in Ironstone, because that is the direction, but it would be on the very like the other side of the mining sprawl. So it's quite Ironstone's quite big. Hang on. The Naughty Elderberry Tavern, Port of. Interestingly enough, from here you can see the island in which Danielle was kept captive on, and she looks over there wistfully and she goes, "Fucking bitch, plagiarizing my work." And Loran finishes up the teleportation circle, and says, "Well, we can use this to get to wherever we need to go, so long as I've been there before, and I have in fact been to Eldrelith."
Wow.
Now, I wanted to ask this, but I understand that I risk setting us on a difficult path. Ought we not check in on Apple Blossom, the dear child we rescued, perhaps to let her know that we're going to Eldrelith to perhaps even save her parents? I never thought that I would be the one looking out for the unwashed masses, aka children, but...
Who's Apple Blossom?
Apple Blossom is a sweet little dear. That's all I remember about them.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, they had great hair. It's terrible.
Loran looks at you upset, Ulster, and just says, "Ulster, what did you say?"
You said doesn't ring a bell.
He looks at Slia and says, "Would you mind just giving him a look over? Sounds a lot like what Marlena was saying before."
I am not necrotic.
Sized.
Yeah, that.
Sparks could do a
Yeah, I suppose either of you guys could go for it, depending on what you prefer.
I think she would want to do a divine sense, because I think that's actually, do I know if that's helped me before with like detecting undead in people or any sort of, or does that require a different
divine sense has helped before.
Okay, I'll do a divine sense then.
Okay.
Just looking at Ulster. So it's detecting good and evil until an end of next turn. I can see anything affected by the Hallow spell. No indication of celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet. It's not behind total cover. I know the type. Presence of any object. Consecrated.
Yeah. We're just checking something. Okay. You do sense something, Sparks, and unfortunately I need to change the music to something less Bonnie.
Bonnie lass, bring me cider. I don't know what that. I'm sorry.
Quiet now, it's dramatic time. Sparks, as your mind kind of reaches out, you feel this strange kind of... Wait. Sorry, I'm like my cat, I need to readjust. You feel this sort of strange splitting in your head as your mind focuses on Ulster. And like ink spreading through water, you see the shadows in the room begin to pool and kind of converge, completely blocking your vision for a moment, leaving only Ulster in the room. No one else. Not a single soul. And
am I seeing him like look and react normally, kind of as if
he's still
he's not noticing
for a moment. Hang on a sec. Okay. Sparks, as you see this Ulster standing there, I think it's safe to say that a look of desperation, perhaps even horror, settles over his face. No.
Okay. Ulster will run towards Sparks, grab onto her and say, "Get me out of here. Let's go. Come on."
in this dark space.
Yeah.
What the
You have
fuck?
to get me out. And he kind of shakes her.
Okay, just before doing this, I decided I prepared protection from evil and good. Oh, by the way, am I sensing undead?
No. But
Am
I'm
I
going to message you what you're
sensing-
sensing, because you are the only one who's allowed to know.
Okay.
Okay. Anna?
Yeah, I'm scared.
I'm also going to just quickly jump out in a moment to you, Sleer, but we're going to just run this very short moment down to its end. Blue, what do you do in this darkness with Ulster pulling on you?
I think very confusingly. Can I? Okay. I touch Ulster and I cast protection from evil and good, and
Okay.
and he is protected against the type that I sensed.
Okay.
And that I don't know if mechanically this helps, but it's creatures of those types has disadvantage on attack rolls against him.
Yeah, okay,
and
cool.
he can't be
I'll
charmed,
remember
frightened,
that.
or possessed by them. Oh, if the target is already
I will
charmed, frightened,
remember
or
that,
possessed by them,
Anna.
by
And
such
I
a
will...
creature. Okay, right.
That's great.
And then I guess
Nice.
I hold him as I do that. Yeah.
Sometimes the players give you the best material.
What have you done?
So,
Something
Sparks, you
evil.
say you hold him, you cast the spell, all these things. I'm going to give you a bit more information first. Number one is when you move to hold him, you feel like you are moving the weight of mountains. Whatever is pressing on you, whatever you're pulling, whatever you're carrying with you, whatever you're moving of your body, it is far larger and more intense than what you were expecting from your 6'6" form. And when you look down, you don't see a dragonborn. You see something else.
What the
Something
fuck?
that you can't quite wrap your mind around. It's almost like you see just where you are standing is just an expanse of shadow, occasionally cut through with starlight. And then you cast a spell. And Ulster, who was begging you for help, you can say one more thing.
I think he just presses his palm like flat against Blue and says, I'm glad you're here.
And you wrap around Ulster, and he kind of glows with this protective light, and you glow with it, and just you kind of see yourselves, the sort of lines between your forms begin to melt together with this light as you kind of get a glare in your eyes, almost like looking directly at a star.
Have I seen a form like the one I seem to have before? Have I seen it where there's been darkness before?
It definitely reminds you of the shadow entities.
Yeah.
As if you're made either from the same stuff or you've come from you're in the same place as those. Now, Sleia, you
see a really intense hug. No.
you see just this sort of like horror dawn on Ulster's face, and Bluey rush over to hug them, and this light kind of rolls off of their shoulders. And just one sec. Sleia, when you see this light kind of roll off of Ulster and Sparks, you feel this like lurch in your stomach, like you've been winded. And you are sitting again, as you tend to be. Not here, but somewhere very different. Somewhere you recognise as Calcon. There is a little 3-story building. There is a well-kept 3-story building with a rooftop garden which overlooks the upper city. It is clearly in a wealthy area. And you see a couple of figures you recognise. You see just people who you've sort of been around in your time as an adventurer. Maybe not your closest friends, but people who, nevertheless, you had interest in reconnecting with. Nikir is here. You see an older man who is starting to wrinkle around the mouth, but he's clearly of Carnet origin. He has short, sort of stubbed horns on his head and slightly purple skin. Slightly. And by his side, you see a tiger, much larger than the one that you saw many, many years ago. Padre, of course. You see servants that are well dressed. You see wealthy people passing through the street below, and forgetting all of them as you smell the scent of kind of slightly burnt sugar on the air, and a house servant brings out a plate of food. You look opposite yourself and you see Daniel. Except you don't see her as you saw her on the ship.
Sorry.
You see her with lines by her eyes and wavy hair that kind of curls around her face that is tied with little ribbons and grey speckles running through it. And she smiles at you and she puts down her tea, reaches for a sugar-covered strawberry and bites into it, and she says, well, we spoke about this before, but I have some updates for you. My aging is something that seems to be progressing. Whilst, obviously, Lucas is staying much the same. And, well, when my mother passed last year, it seemed to be that she had some kind of condition which rejected magical healing. And I would like to ask you very kindly to examine me for the same condition, if you do not mind. As I am getting ever closer to middle age, and I would like to know how long I have exactly to enjoy my beautiful life and my beautiful husband and my beautiful child before I have to say goodbye.
Daniel,
You're the best cleric I know, darling. And she reaches out and holds your hand.
Perfectly beautiful.
I know. As are you.
I will check, but I don't necessarily know if I can give you an exact estimate for how many years. It
is an art, not a science.
Complicated to know what chaos strikes.
Well, you have been good to me. And I don't have many friends that... I don't have many tiefling friends. So it's nice to have you. Come now. No more of this sentimentality, please. Check me over.
Of course. And Slia will do whatever, like, medicine /
You can
arcana.
use your level 20 character sheet if you wish to.
Okay, I'll just go grab
as long as
that.
it's within the bounds of a medicine check.
Of course.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good idea. Should I?
It's loading.
Mm-hmm.
Load that level 20 sheet on.
That's all good.
Okay, so I rolled a 17. It is plus 11, so that is 28.
How does it feel to be back at those levels?
Level 20.
Back at those numbers. And as you kind of examine her, you cast your mind back over the past 30 years, which you have been Daniel's friend and confidant. 30 years. Lorella Coradaman died far too young for a tiefling, in your opinion, at only 70. She, whilst aging at a normal rate for tieflings, exhibited a sickness, not unlike some you'd seen before, a sickness that mutates and develops in response to healing, so that if the same condition presents itself through generations, it becomes harder and harder to treat until eventually it is resistant and then immune to magical healing. Oh, bye, Anna.
In the meantime, look at Baz. Look at Baz.
Oh, I'm back now, I think.
Mhm.
I love you.
Am I back?
And I think it makes sense that Sleia would have helped, I suppose, Lorella in those final years.
At least
little.
keeping her comfortable.
Yeah. In between your travels and whatnot. No one can tie you down, darling. But you recall 6 months ago when Daniel wrote you a letter to organise this meeting, giving you plenty of time in advance so that you would know when to stop helping Cass run the orphanage, when you could prevent your own odysseys and journeys getting in the way, pardon the pun, when you could schedule time away from your wife and your family. And that brings you to here now, with such a high roll on the dice, as you kind of see Danielle kind of straighten her shoulders and tighten the tremor in her jaw. And then you press your hands just lightly on either side of her collarbones and let your magic just kind of filter through, aided by your natural gifts at healing and medicine. And you feel as if you are pouring water into a vessel large enough, to take your magic. The stream is uninterrupted and unbroken. And then your magic just spills out. And you feel this emptiness in Danielle's chest all at once. And you have a moment before your silence kind of gives you away, I think, where you already know what Danielle knows, but has been waiting for confirmation on, which is that, yes, she has this same sickness that Lorella had.
After a short pause, Sleia will just nod. Do you wish for me to check your child as well?
Could you do it very subtly? Lucas and I were discussing having one more, but I think that discussion is maybe not going to happen now.
I think
I would
it's
like to know.
important to know, to discuss at least that it won't be a possibility if you choose not to.
She smiles. Can I tell you something?
Anything.
Just between us. I always wanted a cave baby.
Oh.
But I wanted to see them to adulthood more, so I guess I really didn't pick the greatest timing.
It is your life, and you do with it as you choose. It is your time and what you decide to do with it, no matter how long or how short. You are fabulous, and every bit of it will be what you make it.
I know. She squeezes your hand, which I imagine is still on your her shoulder. She says, "A moment. I think they're still reading. I bought them this whole gift set of romance books. It's really kind of just our thing." Hang on. And Danielle kind of slowly stands and straightens her skirts, and heads out to the room adjacent. And a moment later, you see them come back with a kind of slightly shorter than them, tween-aged looking, pinkish purplish tiefling, who has, whilst majority tiefling traits with...
You're playing with your little ball, Baz.
Baz is playing with his little ball. It's his favourite little toy. Whenever he hears it, he gets so excited. A tween-aged, pinkish and purple tiefling child, who has the characteristic whitish blonde hair of the game tribe, Lucas's tribe, wearing a delicate little tiara.
A frilly child.
A frilly child with little frilly pantaloons, what do you call it? And a big blouse with frou. Obviously dressed by Danielle. And in their arms they're carrying a book which has been thoroughly defaced, scrawled over, and they're like sniffing slightly.
Good book.
Ruined my book. What am I doing here?
So,
and they look up at you.
So looks to Danielle like...
Danielle just says, "Darling, this is my friend, really good friend. You've met before, but it's been a while. Do you remember Auntie Celia?" And Danielle's child, who you know to be named Yanel, and says, "Yeah, I remember. Why did you stop me reading? That was a really good part of my chapter."
Relatable.
And Danielle says, "Well, darling, they want to read with you. So why don't you guys together get to know each other?" And she gives you a look, Astra, like... And then bundles Yanel under their arm and sits them down and plops a strawberry in their mouth to keep them happy and just goes, "La la 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 la, let's read together." And kind of subtly, after about 10 minutes or so, creates an atmosphere that seems going to be calm and comfortable enough that they kind of forget that you're a sort of, you've imposed on their reading time, and they kind of turn the book around to you and they just say, "Look, this one's got illustrations."
Oh,
it's crazy. Yeah.
That's
now
almost accurate.
What do you mean?
Well, you see the spine there is just a little bit too curved and would probably hurt. And if you're hurting somebody, it's probably, well, you just need to make sure that everybody's consenting.
You know, his eyes wide and is like, I guess, yeah.
Sorry.
I guess, yeah. They start flicking through the book like, is this right?
Wait, mute it for a second.
Hang on a sec.
What sort of book was this?
A crush.
Yeah, and they open a page. Is this right? And you see that they've drawn like little hearts around one of the characters, and they've coloured their hair in a different colour, and it looks like they've made it look like their crush, whoever that might be.
Wow.
Is this right? When you kiss people, do you bite them on the mouth? Because I've been wondering this for a long time, and I really don't know the answer.
Only if they're into it. You'd be
Oh my God.
surprised just how into it certain things people can be when you ask that consent.
They look at Daniel, and Daniel nods sagely, like, so true. So true. And smiles at you, Astra, wickedly. And realizing you're in your element, just gives you a kind of like thank you look. And you can make your medicine check as Yanel's guard is down, and has not noticed what is happening here.
That's a 21.
21? Okay, cool. With a 21, you kind of just subtly put your hand on their shoulder as if to sort of lean in and look at the book. Lily. And as you lean in, you tap into that source of magic again. And you feel the cup sort of, the cup metaphor, which I quite like. Your magic kind of filling their lungs, filling their chest. And you are in control of it. There is no emptiness, and it seems that whatever sickness was running through Lorella's family line, it stops at,
Celia just gives Daniel a very subtle, just shake of the head.
She smiles. And you can see her eyes are a little red. And Yanel looks down and says, Mama? And Daniel says, who ruined your beautiful book? Looking at the cover that's kind of been scribbled on. And Janelle just grumbles, Dallas. And Astra, as you kind of hear the telltale clattering of someone off screen doing something they certainly shouldn't to someone's property that's not theirs, you feel this lurch in your stomach. And Ulster, Sparks, you two are no longer touching. In fact, you never even moved. Astra, you're here. And the only thing you really recalled from before was that the young woman in the pink frilly dress with the pretty hair sitting in front of you, ogling a clearly recalling Lucas, with lovey-dovey eyes, is much younger than how you pictured them in your mind. You have young Daniel here, and you've left the older Daniel behind somewhere else, which you cannot get to. And you remember the name and the mischief that comes along with Valis. Make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh. With the level 6 character sheet?
Level 6 character sheet, darlings.
No.
Sorry, Slayer.
Guys, you're so big and squishy.
Oh, it's fine. It's... oh, goodness. Level 6. Hey. Better than level 5.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, how do you do maths? It is on the die. It's a 16. On the number,
nice.
It's
like
8.
20 then. Okay, so 24.
24.
Thank you.
Cool. With a 24, with a 24. I'm going to say that whilst you have had a long rest, unfortunately, you feel a kind of jolt, which sort of sends you sprawling kind of like on the ground. And from everyone else's perspective, the conversation that sort of happened just before Ulster had the spell cast on him sort of ended with you, Bluey, preparing to cast the spell, but then Astra collapsing to the floor and clutching their head, taking 4 points of psychic damage, but no other adverse effects. As these faces from the future, seem to kind of crawl into your mind. And Daniel is in the room with you. I just wanted to clarify.
Okay. Did Bluey expend that spell slot or no?
No.
Oh, okay. Freaky deaky.
However, I still have the nugget that you gave me, which I'll never forget.
I'll never forget.
Does she remember the void?
Yes.
So she remembers approaching him in a different form and casting that spell. But does she know that she somehow snapped to a point where she hasn't cast it?
The answer is yes.
And Slea's on the floor.
Yes, the answer is yes.
I think she'll look at Ulster, but then head to Slea to, I think, lay on hands and help bring her back up.
Okay.
So I could keep laying on hands until you're full health, and maybe I could tell when you're full health. How does that work? Am I able to tell if I've overhealed?
Yes, I think you'd be able to tell.
Okay, great.
Do you want a big kiss, Buzz? Mwah.
Yeah, help him up.
I feel like Slea just kind of like wipes like a little bit of like blood from her nose and just kind of feels a little clammy. I'm fine. Don't just got a little dizzy.
Also kind of looks at Slayer and just cocks his head.
Insight check on Ulster, please.
Okay.
Ooh, what's my... Oh, that's a 19. Don't tell me what you've... What's... Hello.
Oh, are you still there?
Hi, hello.
You are, so we hear you, if that helps.
Great, thank you. So I got a 19 on that insight.
Yeah, also looks bemused. So he's kind of tilting his head to the side, looking at Sleia. For a second, he looks kind of unfocused. And then when he sees the blood, he kind of snaps back to it. And he's like, are you okay?
Just a bit of equilibrium. I'm fine. Got dizzy.
He doesn't seem to remember what just happened, Sparks. And he comes over to Sleia with a napkin and just starts dabbing. Well, if any more comes out, just tilt your head back. No, you're not supposed to do that. I'm not the medicine person. I shouldn't give you advice.
You meant to keep it forward, yes.
If you tilt it back, it will go down your throat. Glug, glug. Anyway.
Yeah, it will. Emma, is there something that I can roll that can help Bluey decide whether she should try to cast that spell again?
I think you get the impression if you cast that spell again, the same thing will happen again, and you'll be stuck in a loop.
She doesn't want to hurt Sleia.
I mean, if you want to speak to Ulster again in a different way, whatever way that was, you could do it if you have something you wanted to say to clarify. but you know you'd get a very short amount of time, and it could hurt Slayer. The balancing act is strange. If you want answers, you can choose to act. And you can always choose to act.
You'll give Slayer
But
a nosebleed.
Slayer may be at risk, depending on what you choose. But of course, you want answers. But it's your choice, except if your choice means hurting Slayer, that's complicated, isn't it?
She definitely sits down as she's thinking this.
Like that's what Bluey's inner thoughts are like right now.
Sparks, are you okay?
You just got hurt by something.
No, I'm fine. Also, I did roll a deception check for Slia. You have to beat a 21.
If you want to see whether Slia is fine.
Whether or not Slia is lying.
About being fine. Okay. The one thing I'll say is that anybody who is concerned by Slia's nosebleed would be able to get advantage. Because spontaneous nosebleeds, I think, are naturally going to lean in your favour. But I have a feeling that only Sparks is going to roll, so that's fine.
No. That's an unnatural 20.
Potty patrol. It doesn't make it the save, though. Unfortunately.
No.
You are in, as a character, as usual, you are in whatever RP capacity you want to be, able to be concerned and shocked, but the truth is still evades you. As it does with Saraza, who says aftershocks from the teleportation, but that seems like a long time ago.
Or a bad dream during the day. More often than not, that's it.
Daniel says, I get bad dreams during the day, and when I do, I just eat strawberries.
Wow. How about I get everyone some tea? And he gets up.
I'll get you tea as well.
I'll bring you back a pot.
I think in Draconic...
Sorry, Slia was just going to say, like, Loran, were you still concerned about Ulster?
Loran is watching Ulster very closely. There seems to be a glint in his eye that you don't really recognize. And when Ulster says, I'm going to go get some tea, he just silently follows on his heels. But he looks around at you if you draw attention to yourself and is like, what? I mean, what?
Sorry, my
mask dropped from it. Pardon me.
My charisma dropped to 0 suddenly.
So
what is it?
Shakes her head, like, apparently it's nothing.
Very good.
As far as I know, no one else but Slia here speaks Draconic, right? Knows Draconic? Is that...
Yes. Can I just say one thing before you guys carry on with that thought? And this is only specifically something Astra would notice. I think as Loran turns back to follow Ulster, you see his eyes dart over to Daniel, and he stops, and he just stares at her for a moment. And he just goes over and he tucks one of her curls behind her head and just says, ever so beautiful, darling. And Daniel's like, yeah, right. I know. And Loran just kind of like, and then walks back after Ulster. I don't know if that would mean anything to Astra. I don't know if that means anything to anyone.
I'm sitting here, Astra sitting here like, I have connected the two dots. I've connected them.
I don't know what I mean, but I've connected them.
Yeah, me internally. You ain't connected shit. Slia, I have connected them.
Yeah. Sparks, I apologize, I interrupted you.
That's totally fine. That's very important. I think Sparks would say Slia in Draconic. Can you, like, she's not looking at Slia as she's saying this. She would say, can you Can you stand by me and as I detect evil and good in the kitchen where the tea is being made? Please.
Like Astra would have just kind of tilted her head in a manner that like Sparks would recognize. Oh, okay, yeah, she's listening. And there's just like a subtle nod of the head. Sleia gestures to lead the way.
Okay. And Sparks will move with Sleia to the kitchen so that there is a direct line of sight within 60 feet of Ulster again. And if you'd like me to wait, I'm happy to wait to cast. No, not cast. Or do the thing.
Oh, I don't know if he's...
So much is happening here.
Layers upon layers upon layers. It's like watching the like Amaury Guichon chocolate videos.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh.
Okay. You do what you want to do. And I will do what I have to do.
Okay. Oh wow. Thank you, Emma.
With 20 minutes of the session left.
I'm so sorry. Did I use up one use of my divine sense already?
Nope. It's reset as if it never happened, but you only have the memories of it.
She is going to grip onto Sleia as she does divine sense. What she feels like again, but she feels like somehow she hadn't tapped into it before. She's going to look at Ulster.
I have to counsel Emma because she's like, I'm going to break everything.
Baz!
Look at Baz.
Oh.
Right, I need to pick some music that isn't Sherwood Forest.
Fuck.
Are you scared?
Oh, I wasn't expecting all this.
I was expecting a nice little tea party.
I thought the emotions running high last session were going to be
Less high.
Less high this session. So did I. I thought we were going to go from point A to point B, and now we're somewhere else. So,
of emotion.
Anna, please, I would love it if you just did the thing you're going to do.
Do that thing.
Okay. With unmatchable enthusiasm, let's fucking go. Aelin, I don't know who this character is.
It's it's a race from Mass Effect where
I was about
basically
to say Mass Effect,
they can't convey emotions via like pheromones, which is what they normally do, so they have to express them verbally. So it just with unmatchable enthusiasm, let's fucking go.
That's great. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. Oh, damn. That's so cool.
Yeah, my buddy was doing a Mass Effect Let's Play for me, basically. And it was just awesome.
Okay.
Very nice.
Okay.
Okay. Emma, Sparks does Divine Sense again, which as an action, I can sense Celestial Fiend undead. Oh no!
I think from what you've said already,
Aberration, celestial, elemental, fae, fiend, or undead.
That's protection from. That's not Divine Sense.
Don't worry. We've done it now.
Okay, I have a spell that is... Oh, but I didn't have it prepared. Fuck.
Hey, Anna, guess what? It doesn't matter. We're going to just do it.
Can we pretend that I was casting that spell
because
first?
we're at a point now, and I'm at an emotional point now where this is going to happen.
Yeah.
Because you're cool. It's the rule of cool. So.
Great.
You would like to choose Ulster as your target. And are you detecting / protecting him from aberrations?
I'm detecting first.
Protecting first. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. First things first, you cast the spell, the same thing happens. Obviously, Ulster and Loran have left the room, but as the room melts away, you see Ulster as he is. And you see as well, once more, one of the only things that hasn't melted away, other than Ulster, is Loran himself. And he looks at you. And he looks up and across and over at all of you. And he says, of course, you're here. You're the only thing that's real, and you're dead.
What?
And he looks around the darkness.
Like, reaches out to him.
What happened to you?
What does my arm look like? Does it look like a huge fucking claw of a thing?
Am I a kaiju?
Sparks, I'm going to give you one DM move, but I'm not going to tell you anything else.
What? Oh. Okay, great. I love that. I love that so much.
And you move forwards, and as you move, your body curls around Ulster as it did before. And Loran sees Ulster. And his face just falls. And he falls to his knees. Ulster, do you have anything you want to say?
Am I trapped?
No.
Or can I get to him?
You can move.
How far away is he?
10 feet.
Ulster will come up to Loran and just kneel down and hold his face.
You reach out for his face.
How do we help you?
And you are... Because you cannot touch him.
Can't touch him.
And Loran reaches for you. And there is just a barrier, and he pushes, but he can't. And he looks at you, Bluey, and he says, "Help me!" And is like reaching.
I don't know how. Can I very gently touch the both of them and
you squish them together, but they're like magnets. And
okay, wait. Seeing this isn't going to work.
Ulster, you may do what you wanted to do, if you like.
Ulster will rest his palm on Bluey again, and I think his hand is very small against you. And he just looks back at Loran. Says, "I'm in the ocean. Please get me out."
Ocean?
He looks around, absolutely lost. Ocean. I looked in every ocean. And he reaches for you, and you can't get to you again.
Can I hold Loran? Can I gently, am I able to touch him as like a comfort?
You move forwards, and you can sort of bump him with your snout, which is about the size of his whole body.
Jesus Christ.
How much time does Ulster have left?
This spell actually lasts 10 minutes, but yeah.
DM things are fun when you're in this place.
She gave me 10 seconds before.
I'm being generous now.
Yeah.
Just wait till you see what's happening to Slayer.
Yeah, Ulster doesn't know how to put a name on it, and he just looks around. He remembers what it looked like, and he's just the ocean where gods go to die.
Astral. See?
And you guys are so hot. You're so hot. Slayer. Damn it,
here
Tia.
I'm just furiously writing.
Damn it, Slia.
I'm
Hang on a
sorry, Emma.
second.
No,
So
this is
you need
fine.
time.
This is fine.
Oh,
Do what you gotta.
I'm not sure Sparks as a character would know
Slia.
about the Astral Sea, but Bluey, when she reached her old age, certainly did know about it,
Yes.
and I know about it. So,
Hang on a moment. Slia, you occasionally still do go to Melas, obviously. There are people there who you know, people you fought alongside, and people Bluey left behind. Gassard is still as eccentric and outgoing as they were when Bluey was alive. And Yavuk and Yori have started an extension of Cass's orphanage together, helping more children who were displaced. Marlin and Merlin have both, in the wake of their father's passing, opened the castle up, allowing anyone who needs a home to come through its walls. And though you as well have suffered a few rather great losses in the past year or so, or so, with Bluey, with Onric, and with Danielle, and then with Lucas, it made you feel untethered. And that's how, under the guidance of the moon, you came back to this place. The statue of Bluey Sparks, which is crawling with ivy, but it is well maintained. She's left a lot of people who love her behind. You included, obviously. And it's as you're tending to this statue, remembering her under the moonlight, that you hear a kind of rush. And you see in the far distance the skyline just ripple in that familiar, terrifying way that it did when you and Ulster and Sparks and Cass and Loran and Saraza, Gerald, fought for your father's place as the Star Martyr. But you see lancing through it, through the fabric of the sky now, a line of golden thread which only you would recognize its origin. Fey, very distinct, flamboyant almost, in its artistry. As someone, one Loran Dehane, you surmise, cuts the night sky just a little bit. And what do you do?
Am I back in level 20 Slia body?
You are. Please run anything by me first.
Naturally.
I cast wish on my true resurrection.
I don't have any of those things at disposal. However, I do have the sending spell.
Fab, that's hot.
That's all I want to do is.
Mm-hmm.
I cast wish.
Where are you? What are you doing? And it's to Loran.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not accusatory, it's just, I see your magic. And I don't know what's going on. You know, I have the words for it, so yeah, that's included. I see your magic and I don't know what's going on.
Okay. There's a moment. A deep, heavy sigh. And then just "50 years of work. I'm doing what I have to. Don't come to the Ice Palace. We won't let you in." Don't come to the Ice Palace. We won't let you in. The words spoken right next to your ear. All of a sudden, you feel just like a touch on your shoulder. You see a flash of red, and you are back. And you remember. And you take 8 points of psychic damage.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Once you fail the wisdom save, you're immune to the effect, but you still get the psychic damage.
Okay. I was gonna say, do I need to roll a new save?
Once you save once, you're immune.
Wait,
until
is the effect
the next one.
Is the effect forgetting?
Yeah. Why did you think that? Why would you think that?
Why would you guess that?
Anyway.
So it's just to clarify, because I'm a little muddled in my brain. Slia remembers.
This is probably the only save which gets you more if you fail than if you pass. But
so it does damage if you succeed, but you don't forget what you saw.
Yeah. Because it hurts to remember.
So it's like a nice effect where it's trying to help you, but you just resist it and get the damage. Well.
Also, Loran is in the room with you. He is staring at you.
I can grab him now, right?
He can touch you now.
Okay, I grab his wrist. I think also would have fallen onto the floor with the tea set.
He holds you.
He just grabs onto his wrist.
He doesn't let you go.
He doesn't. He looks disbelieving for a moment. He's like, "You heard me." And then he just goes, "No," and then puts a hand over Loran's mouth as he watches the shadows in the room.
Does Bluey see that?
Yeah. If you're in the room with them, then you see it. And Loran looks over at you, Bluey, and just says,
sorry. And she helps Sleer up again and then heals them again. Or if it didn't happen in the first... No, it did happen.
Fucking angry. He looks so angry.
Okay, I will take my hand off his mouth and then I will kiss him.
He just holds your face and kisses you back.
Who does Loran look angry at?
Or is it a general anger? Okay.
Mostly. He doesn't notice you, Sia, because Bluey mentioned that they followed Ulster and Loran. But if you come into the room, obviously you could engage with him if you want to.
She was just behind Bluey.
Sure. If you're coming in, then if he looks over at you, he looks away.
Sleer doesn't look at him.
Mm-hmm. And he just holds you, Ulster.
I feel like with this much trauma going between these places, I think Ulster eventually is forced to kind of let go of Loran. And he just turns around to Bluey and Sleer and goes, Astra, Sia, Bluey, Elgeleth, Aprea, Karul, no, Valis, and then Underdark, and he kind of just sinks down to his knees and starts like picking up the pieces of the tea set and trying to put them back together. It's like, tea. I'll get you tea.
I'm sorry.
Tea.
I'll fix the teapot. It's okay.
I'll fix it.
We can do it together.
Every time I'll fix it. And he keeps just trying to push it together.
As he puts it together, Sleer will cast mending to just link the pieces together like magical glue. And she's not making eye contact with anyone, and there are just tears running down her face.
Loran looks at Sleer and then looks back at you, Ulster, and just pulls your face up to look at him.
Loran.
It's me. I'm here.
Of course it's you. You're always here. And he pats his cheek. Always here. Just slightly different. And then again. And then again. You're here.
He stays with you like that for a while and then looks back at you, Bluey. Do you know what you're protecting? The whole fucking world. Don't you dare let him go. Don't you dare! And he comes up to you and shakes you.
Ulster kind of holds on to Loran and just shakes his head. No.
I can't stay.
How?
I was trying to... How do I do this? If I try to protect somebody... Yeah, Sparks is crying. Sparks is at a loss, and I'm slightly at a loss as a player.
That's fine.
What is to be avoided? But if that answer can't come to Sparks immediately, or
for sure. You've spoken to Sorella about this, but it was a lot of sessions ago, so I completely understand why it's kind of
get Sorella
not.
Here, we could make a room, and then we could all go in the room and be together.
If only that would make the world not fall into pieces. But Sparks, you remember Sorellas basically said, outside of his mansion, any abnormality, any darkness, any shadows, the more you speak of them, the more fragile your existence becomes. You get the impression that your silence, acting as if everything is just normal, helps keep this place alive. And everybody was present for that conversation. And Loran here now begging you, don't let him go. I think he would know that Loran leaving, like he said, that not talking about this, carrying on to Elderlith through a teleportation circle and defeating the bad guys and living happily ever after is what you need to achieve, no matter what the cost.
When he says don't let him go, is it implying, is it implying that letting the world go a bit to shit with sort of speaking any of this out loud is that letting him go?
You get the impression you might lose Ulster if this world falls apart.
Okay.
So what you guys have learned,
So hard.
because I'm going to wrap the session up with this, as Loran just lets out a cry of anguish, then kisses you Ulster and just leaves the room.
Why is he leaving?
I'm going to just say, no, I don't think he would leave because he doesn't have to leave to do this. I think he would just hold you. What I'm just going to say is this. You guys know that something is wrong. That this world you're in, it doesn't align with these fragments of your past, especially you, Slayer, that you've been seeing. Doesn't align up at all. Though the pieces are all there, the puzzle doesn't look right. And after all this time, being pursued by aberrations, being attacked by shadow creatures, encountering Githyanki in the material plane, and noticing those moments in which Ulster is able to see the future, and Bluey becomes something entirely different, and Slayer, you are able to traverse what it feels like the waking world and the sleeping world, two different worlds, two different realities to you, but forgetting them as easily as a dream. I think the three of you know now, without a doubt, whether you acknowledge it to each other or not, that the prayer you're in, the inn you're in, the land you're standing on, the world you are trying to save is not real. But
still
you let
saving.
it die, something else might die with it.
Well, that wasn't emotionally wrecking at all. Thanks, Emma.
And in only an hour and 45 minutes. I feel like that's really impressive. I think the Danny Wells stuff really hit home, and then when we started throwing tea on the floor, and that was crazy.
That was a reference to a really disturbing part of Emma's novella.
Oh yeah, I'm writing a novella to bridge between the campaigns. It's 50,000 words long. But you don't have to read it all.
You don't have to read it all.
And then about a 1,500 word spread of it inspired in 120,000 word AU, which we are.
So much content.
And if you include the stuff which is sort of Valis's backstory and a different NPC's backstory together, then it's like double the length. So, not required reading though. It's only if you're invested in the story. And don't get me wrong, guys. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for the moment you guys confirm your characters.
But she's going to plunge us into a new world of pain.
Plunge. We're going to use Phasmoid as a bag of holding.
I
We're
can
going
say
to
that
throw different things in it, like
float like shinies through it. Like, he's going to use you as a coin piggy bank.